What's going on YouTube? JT's Reborn here, and welcome back to another edition of my DC comic book reviews. And in this video, we're talking about Absolute Power Ground Zero #1. This one is written and drawn by several different artists. We have like Mark Waid on one, NICOLE Mainnes on another. There's different stages right here. So the first issue is in the nation of Gamora. We open up with Jay Nakamura, you know, John Kent's boyfriend or whatever. This one's written by NICOLE Mainnes and Mark Waid, and this one's actually not half bad. It opens up with Jay Nakamura getting, shot in the leg, so it can't be all that terrible. Sorry, I'm not really a huge fan of Jay's character in general. But, and actually here it's actually not too bad. Like, there's actually some kind of weight and gravitas to it. So this is the best written I've seen of Jay, because I did not like Jay as a character in that whole Superman run. But I didn't really like much of anything in that Superman Son of Kal-El book. So Jay's there, and, Dreamer is also here. And we know Dreamer's in a compromised position, tries to be helpful, but Jay kind of rejects, what she's been doing. And we kind of have this genuine tension where it's like, oh, so, your family is worth more than mine. Why should I ever listen to you? There's this pure hatred for it, and Dreamer just hates having to do what she's had to do, given like the state of her family and such, being vulnerable. Like, no matter what, like, she's forced to kind of protect Waller. I mean, can you imagine being forced to just do horrible thing after horrible thing, despite knowing it's wrong and trying to find ways out of it? Like, you're kind of in an unwinnable situation. Now you have somebody who just kind of despises you, that you probably got along with good beforehand. But so there's actually some weight, there's some stakes. Like, Jay is, now that it's just Jay on his own without John around, and just like there's actual genuine tension, and like it's nothing like overtly cringy or anything like that. I actually kind of like this little story arc where they're just kind of at each other's throats. I thought it made things a little bit more interesting. So yeah, that's the first part. Stage 2, we have Chip Zdarsky and Mark Waid writing this one, and this is with John Starr. They tie back into like an issue of Urban Legends, which, I mean, I covered all the issues of Urban Legends, so I kind of forgot about it. But John Starr is basically like brought back to life and forced to kind of work on the Failsafe robot that was just destroyed in Batman. So now we're like, oh, we're done with Failsafe. No. Failsafe is back once again. And that's kind of the part I'm like, oh, do we really need Failsafe again? Like, it just made like all that stuff feel kind of meaningless, because they just spent all this time destroying it. But, you're kind of, John Starr's kind of trapped right here and forced to kind of build these different robots, and against his will. And now, after successfully like bringing back Failsafe, now he's got to do one for the other characters. So that's that one right there. And then for stage 3 right here, this is the Joshua Williamson writer and Gleb Melnikoff. No Mark Waid on this one. This is about using Failsafe to retrieve the BRAINIAC Queen and kind of bring her back. So basically, like what Waller does, she kind of implants her using the Psycho Pirate mask from all the way back from Heroes in Crisis. So we tie into that, using that to kind of implant herself into the memories of the BRAINIAC Queen, so that she'll be on their side to kind of stop the different, heroes in the DC universe. So this is all about setting the stage for the big event in Absolute Power. So that's what is a prelude. And then we get a preview of Absolute Power #1, where Superman gets shot by a bullet and he is pretty much taken out. And then, of course, like the last issue kind of tells you more about Amanda Waller, tells you about Failsafe, tells you about, the BRAINIAC Queen and such, and just basically is there to kind of set the stage. So yeah, there's some good looking artwork in here. And this is, again, just mostly a setup issue on different fronts right there. We see why Dreamer's in the compromised position that she's in. We see why, John Starr is like, and how he's kind of basically built Failsafe back up again after we just watched Failsafe get destroyed like a week ago. And then, of course, get ready to set the stage to build the other Failsafe-esque robots for other members of the Justice League, to show how Waller's kind of gaining her power. And then, of course, the BRAINIAC Queen, how the BRAINIAC Queen is brought back despite kind of getting defeated in the last issue of what I just covered with Superman and, the Action Comics, like House of Brainiac event. So it feels like, having Failsafe and BRAINIAC Queen kind of destroyed and then immediately sort of brought back, it just kind of like makes those other things seem kind of underwhelming a bit. In a sense, I mean, I really liked House of Brainiac overall, but just kind of bringing them back literally like the same day just made that feel kind of underwhelming, like as a conclusion to those story arcs. But again, it's Waller just kind of get like her grasp for power, and just basically this issue is just a setup issue for different things that play within the House of Brainiac event. So out of the 4 stories, I think maybe the first one focused on Dreamer was one of the more interesting ones, because you have a character here who is in such a dangerous place and, you know, is desperately just does not want to be doing this and is trying to like help things out. But, you know, you have somebody threatening your family in that, and you have somebody else who's obviously enraged and hostile over the stuff going on with Gamora losing your loved ones. So there actually is, like I said, this is the best story I've seen with Jay written, because I didn't really like Superman Son of Kal-El really at all. So I thought that one actually had some weight and gravitas to it that I didn't really feel reading those other storylines. So I haven't read Task Force X. I know this is kind of tying more so into that book, like at least the Suicide Squad Dream Team story arc. I haven't really read that one, but this clearly ties more into that and the stuff with Gamora and such. But I felt like there's actual weight and gravitas to this, and there doesn't seem to be like overtly any cringe. Like the stakes actually feel real and serious. So I actually like the first story arc the most, probably because I haven't been reading those books as much and it felt a little bit more fresher and unique to me, and also because, like I said, Failsafe getting rebuilt immediately afterwards, and then the Brainiac Queen getting built up again immediately after just being destroyed. It's one of those things where I'm like, just kind of undercuts a little bit of what I just finished reading with those other events, or you know, the whole Failsafe arc. Like, oh, we're done Failsafe. No, Failsafe is back once more. Oh, okay. And Brainiac Queen was just brought in, then just kind of defeated, kind of a lot more easy than I would have expected. Oh, okay, you know, she's back again. So, but I understand they need him for the event. So, you know, like the main issues by Waid, I am looking forward to reading, because I think Mark Waid actually is a really good writer. But again, it's another event. I don't want to have to read like 100 different tie-ins, but I'll probably stick with the main couple issues, maybe like a side issue of like some of the books I'm already like talking about. But I don't think I'll definitely be reading like every single issue in the event. It just seems like too much. But Absolute Power Ground Zero, I think, did a good job setting the stage for the whole event, just kind of explaining why some characters are in the situations they are in. And now we have all the stakes at play. We see how evil and manipulative Amanda Waller is, where she kind of thinks of everything and nobody is in a safe place. And you just feel like genuine sympathy for like every character under her tutelage, even like some of the more villainous-esque characters, because like Amanda Waller is just such an evil bitch, and I hope by the end of Absolute Power that Waller gets killed off by somebody. You know, let Green Arrow do it, or maybe Peacemaker could be the one to kind of shoot her and kind of finish her off, because I'm just so sick of that character. But of course the heroes would probably stop her and then throw her in jail and stuff. But I think it'd be cool if like one of them just was like, you know what, enough of Amanda Waller, bam, done. That's what I want to see in Absolute Power. That's my hope for the event. I don't know if that'll be the case, but you know, this one's a decent setup issue to kind of like get things moving. I like the first story arc with Dreamer, and surprisingly Jay Nakamura is a character I've never really been a big fan of, but like this is the only time I've actually like been engaged in a storyline with Jay in that, because like I said, I did not like Superman Son of Kal-El really all that much. Like I maybe liked the first issue or two, but then it just got kind of worse and the plot kind of dragged and there's just too much cringeworthy stuff. But this is the first one I'm like, okay, this one's actually pretty good. Like surprising, like I said, I didn't mind Jay Nakamura in a storyline, which is just shocking to me in general. So now I haven't read Suicide Squad Dream Team. I actually didn't even realize that was a book going on. I mean, there's a lot of books at DC. It's hard to keep up with the different things, but I like the stuff with Dreamer right here too. So, all right, well, that's all I have to say about this issue. What did you think of it? Post your comments down below. Be sure to like this video, share it with friends, subscribe to the channel for more content, hit the bell for notifications, all our fun stuff, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace out.